as nobody says anything due to years and years of I hit record, everyone be quiet.
That
I didn't have anything to say.
It is ingrained in us, man. Come on. It's like Pavlov's dogs. We're not going to not drool.
And Stark, that's why I did it.
I'm drooling right now.
Stark said, I admit I couldn't help but laugh my ass off when Chewie made the Brian, don't say anything, and Brian just went the hell off. Yup.
I don't hear certain words when you're talking. Brian, don't talk is like more than one word, and I don't hear any of it.
Oh my god. So, yeah, if I'm coughing, everybody, don't panic. I had Chef Boyardee for dinner, and it's like in my throat. Hey, Master Form Zigbar, welcome back. Ow, ow,
The other
ow.
day I put too much like hot stuff on my sandwich. After I was done eating it, I was like sweating a little bit and sniffling, and I'm like, wow, I'm glad I'm not going to go out and meet anyone today. Otherwise, they might get the wrong idea.
Yeah. I didn't sleep last night. Oh, you know what? That's a story for the actual episode. So here we go. Let's get started. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special, very different, a very weird episode of the Mana Pool. This is episode number 585, because palindromes are sexy.
Wow.
They're so sexy, in fact, that Monday Night Magic was 686. Ooh, this week. So, ladies.
Lol.
Look, all the rest of y'all are not single, but I still am, so bite me. And with social distancing, I will continue to be so for a long, long time. As if social distancing had anything to do with that.
You just wanted to use that word.
I did.
That phrase.
I am Chewie, the lead dork. And with me, as always, are these other dorks. Hi, dorks.
Hey, we're dorks. I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master of the group, and I am proud to be a... What? Are you... Did I just get punked by Dirk? What? What is even happening?
Because you left such a big pause, it's like, okay, Mike, that's your turn then, apparently.
I left a pause? I don't leave pauses. Have you met me? I breathe. That's what
Barely.
I got. Okay, Mike, you can anytime now. I
All
promise.
right,
I'm done.
fine. I'm just confused now. I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy, and the game lore guy, and yeah, Brian did leave a large enough space that I was worried whether I had screwed up our order again, but apparently I didn't.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I don't know if I'm just looking to fill in the isolation or the spaces in between pauses or what. These are the weird times we live in.
These are weird times we live in. Excuse me, I'm eating an oatmeal cream pie. Because I had Chef Boyardee for dinner, and that's gross. So... I dropped
okay?
the beef. So, I should have taken that last bite, but I'm an idiot. So, yeah. So this is a weird episode of the Mana Pool because, so everyone knows by now, the coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus, is running rampant across the globe. We're in the middle of an actual, honest-to-God, global pandemic, the likes of which have not been seen in my lifetime. And I'm damn near 40.
He's old,
Yeah,
man.
same.
He's gonna be 40 this year.
Yeah.
I told Carrie, and I'm like, he's gonna be 40. And she's like, we're gonna be 40 next year. I'm like, we are. No.
Yeah, Chad is informing me that the last time we had a global pandemic like this was 1918.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the swine flu about 10 or 11 years ago being a really big deal. It was a big deal. It was not this big.
Yeah, there have been lots of like potential problems. Swine flu, bird flu, SARS,
Mad cow disease.
West Nile virus.
Yeah,
Zika.
yeah. But
Tooth
none
mop.
of them actually
Oh.
impacted society. Now, there are potential reasons for that may or may not involve certain task force being disbanded for no good reason. But this is not the show to talk about that. If you want that, there's plenty of that on the odds and ends, especially for Monday Night Magic. But because of the global pandemic, and in an effort to flatten the curve, and we'll explain what that means in a minute, for those that don't know, because it turns out there are a lot of people that don't know what the hell that means. Everyone has been encouraged, or in some places of the world, not encouraged, legislated, or forced into a sort of self-quarantine. It's commonly referred to as social distancing.
Or it is now. I don't think I'd heard the phrase until 3 days ago, and now it's used a lot.
It's the buzzword.
Yeah. So, with a lot of people being stuck at home, unable to go out and do stuff, or unable to go out and interact with people as usual, like introverts are like, and people like me who work from home anyway, like I'm an internet entertainer, I'm like, and like the only difference now is that I have to go through a lot more preparation when I leave the house to do a DoorDash shift, and a lot more preparation when I get back, because I wash my hands, I take off my gloves, wash my hands, I then disinfect everything that I touched on the way to the bathroom, and then I wash my hands again.
I am like the opposite of a germaphobe in that I really don't wash my hands nearly as much as I should, like almost ever. And I have been washing my hands pretty much nonstop. So that should tell you something.
As George Carlin, well, to paraphrase what George Carlin said, you know when Brian washes his hands? When he poops on them. And that only happens 2-3 times a week, tops.
No comment.
Stark said, if the coronavirus is so notable, why haven't they made Coronavirus 2? Right? But, because a lot of people are stuck at home, and, like, I've already noticed people starting to lose it. And a lot of people are only a few days into it. The first stretch of time that everyone's stuck at home and working from home and can't leave, you get stir crazy. Until you get used to it, it's bad for a lot of people. And I really wanted us to just have an episode where we just talked about stuff. Like, we're
Yeah.
going to lead off with coronavirus, like some PSAs, just things that hopefully you know, but if you don't, then we'll tell you. But then we're going to talk about whatever the hell we want to. Because you know
Yeah.
what? Magic is canceled. That was the name of Monday Night Magic this week. Magic is canceled for now. Like, all of the upcoming SCG events, all of the upcoming Magic Fests, the Players Tour Finals, everything has been like, nah, bruh. So,
I mean, you can still play on Arena, and you can play ManaStrike.
yeah, and Arena has even made the Brawl thing, like, open to everybody or something. They did something special for the people that are trapped at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what, because I don't play Arena, so I don't care. But I did get the email, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And then it fell out of my brain. I think the Brawl event, right, is like you don't have to pay to play or something? I don't know. Chat, you guys can clue me in on that. I know some of you play. But,
I
oh, go ahead.
I like Arena. I tend to play Arena, but I have not played in a while. It's one of those things where, interestingly enough, because it's on the upstairs computer, and so it's like furthest from everybody else, I haven't played in a while. But I am glad that they are opening up Brawl. They really should have opened it up more in the first place, but whatever.
Agreed. So let's talk about let's get all the PSA stuff out of the way. Okay, one. If a politician tells you anything about coronavirus, just assume that they're wrong or lying, and listen to science. Okay, scientists and the doctors, they have one thing in common: they all want you to be safe. That's their whole goal. Politicians they have other things on their mind, like re-election. And not looking bad and whatever. So just ignore. I don't care who the politician is. Just ignore them and listen to doctors and scientists. All right, the CDC, for God's sake, listen to them. All right.
One thing I learned, it's the Centers for Disease Control.
Yeah, they're plural.
Yeah, I was just assumed it was the Center for Disease Control.
No.
And a little light bulb went over my head.
So people are talking about, why are we doing this social distancing thing? It's not as bad as the flu. More people die. Thousands of people die from the flu. Da, da, da. My dumbass upstairs neighbor said this to me a few days ago, and I spent 5 solid minutes swearing at him and calling him words I can't say on this show. Just immediately, he's as soon as that sentence came from his mouth, I was like, "You're a bleeping you're gonna get people killed, and I hope it's you." Like I just tore into him because they're already ignorant. And I wanted him to understand exactly how bad that was.
No prisoners.
Yeah. And I mean, he and I cuss at each other all the time, just friendly. But like, this was just a solid stream. So, yeah. Because this is a new thing, no one has any immunity to it. And that's bad. It also is really bad for people with a not fully function immune system. So the very young, the very old, and anyone with any kind of problem that affects the immune system. So that's part of the problem. It's also, when you do get symptoms, sometimes it's okay, other times it's really bad. And apparently, it doesn't matter if you're young and healthy. Sometimes things go bad. Now, we talked earlier about flattening the curve. And flattening the curve is there's a graph that's going around that shows a very large spike and then a very long, slow hump with a dotted line that is just above the long, slow hump. So what that graph is the number of cases, that's the vertical, and the horizontal is amount of time. Okay? The whole idea of flattening the curve is, okay, a lot of people are going to get it. It's apparently very contagious, right?
Right.
But the reason that we're all distancing each other is to slow the spread. Because the virus, what it does is it looks around and it goes, "Hey, look, a person. Are you sick? Ah, now you are. Ha ha ha." And if it can't find anyone around that isn't sick, or it can't find anyone around at all, then it's not going to spread further. This is just basic science. Like, this is common sense. And thank you for those 10 bits for science, Pinball Witch. And so the reason that everyone is being urged to just stay away from each other, don't go to large gatherings, is because that dotted line on the graph is the theoretical limit of our healthcare system. Not our healthcare system. In this country, our healthcare system is already boned. But just the healthcare system of wherever you are has a limit. And if a lot of people all get together, and let's say Brian, because
Yes.
Brian doesn't wash his hands, so let's say
Okay, I do occasionally, but I've gotten a lot better about that. I think somebody in the chat said never cook for me, and I'm like, yeah. Maybe I should have been more clear. But yes, but I am not the most cleanly person. Yes,
so let's say that Brian has contracted the virus, and then we go to the Ikoria pre-release, which we're not gonna. That's not happening. But let's say we go to the Ikoria pre-release, and Brian has it, and he's not showing symptoms because he's young and healthy, and it takes anywhere from 2 to 14 days to start having symptoms once you've got it.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And Brian looks at his hand and goes into his hand, right?
Right.
So
and
far,
then
so good.
after the match, his opponent goes, "Oh, you got me," and they shake hands. And then that guy goes and like runs his finger under his nose and sniffs. And then that guy kisses his girlfriend. And then his girlfriend kicks the living hell out of her opponent, and he shakes her hand, and then he rubs his eye. And this is not possible if and now that's 4 people potentially infected just right there. And that's from 2 interactions. Three interactions.
That isn't even anyone getting on a plane yet.
Yeah. And so, like, this is the problem. If there are a lot of people together, then it'll just spread like wildfire. And then those people all take it home with them, and they don't show symptoms for 2 to 14 days. And they go to the bank, and they go to the grocery store, and they shake hands with coworkers, and and that's just one person. So with all of those people, it gets out of control. So, and yeah, Faye and Says just said, just play Plague Inc., and you'll understand pretty quick. Exactly. I love that game. Someone was like, "Hey, Chewy, you gonna stream Plague Inc.?" And I said, "No, I'm not, because I am classy." That would be a little too on the nose. Let's not do that. So that's why Magic is canceled. That's why, at least around here, restaurants, you can't go eat in a restaurant anymore. You have to get it to go.
Yep. I was saying there's a restaurant around here, and they have inundated me with notifications of, "Please, dear Lord, understand that we are open." Because
Hey, Brian, fix your mic.
Is that
There
better?
you go.
There you go.
I've been getting notifications from a local restaurant that, they want everyone to know that they're still open because they are deathly afraid that people will assume they're closed. This is, aside from health concerns, the economic impact of this is tremendous. So that's why.
Yeah. So, like, there were people when they canceled a bunch of Magic Fests, including Detroit, which started in 3 days. When they canceled Magic Fest Detroit, it started in 3 days. Do you have any idea how serious things have to be for them to cancel a giant thing like that only 3 days out?
Mm-hmm.
And there were people in the comments on Twitter going, "I think they should let people decide if they want to go. Don't force me not to go." And I'm like, "You're an idiot and a selfish bastard, and you really need to stop."
Because it's not just about one person.
Yeah, like, I'm young and healthy, let me take my chances. That's not the point. Plus, Channel Fireball Events doesn't want to put the judges and the staff and the venue staff all at risk, so your selfish ass can go play Magic. Screw you, go home and sit down. I'm sorry you lost money. A lot of people lost money. You think Channel Fireball didn't lose money? Channel Fireball lost money.
They lost a lot.
A lot of damn money.
So, like, yes, it sucks, but it sucks for everyone. It's not just you. So, like, the only way we're going to get through this is if we all band together and do what we need to do to get through it. So, like, this means when you go to the grocery store, don't buy all the damn toilet paper. What is wrong with you people? I still don't understand that.
Okay.
Like, at all.
I don't understand either.
I don't know.
So, I think it's because it's one of those basic things. So, 2 seconds with this.
But there's not a run on toilet paper during a snowstorm.
No, but people, I don't know, one person...
Like, at first I thought it's like, are people worried because they have to stay home so they won't be able to go poop at work? And I'm like, well, no, I mean, same thing happens during a snowstorm or like a hurricane or something.
I don't know.
I don't
People
get
are
it.
weird. So I guess we have this mentality of it's the apocalypse. Mike, you haven't finished watching seasons 4 and 5 of Supernatural.
I have not.
Believe it or not.
Hey, Mike,
So-
guess what would be a great time to watch Supernatural?
So there is, I kid you not.
I'm still working, man.
I know. So there's an episode in one of those seasons where one of the characters gets a vision of the future if they are not able to stop something really bad from happening, and it is like bad, like it's basically post-apocalypse. And there's a character that tells him, "Oh, you're here visiting from the past. Here's a tip: hoard toilet paper because it's basically gold." And this episode aired in like 2008 or 2009, and I'm like, haha, I guess because nobody wants to, wipe their butt with leaves. And it's 2020,
Accurate.
and it's happening. And I'm like, okay, that's creepy.
Like, my theory is that this is unprecedented, right?
Yes.
Like,
I think
we
we all
don't
agree
know
on
how to deal with this, and people only know how to hoard for like the natural disaster panic buying. So they buy bread and milk and eggs, and now they've added toilet paper because they might be under quarantine for 10 months and not be able to leave the house, which is not it, but I'm guessing that's the panicked thought. That's the only thing I've been able to come up with.
I think that's probably right, if anything is.
And
Meanwhile, we're gonna get more toilet paper. I don't know. We were fine. We actually.
I used to work in the factory where they make this stuff. They can make a lot of it.
So we tend to buy paper products when they're on sale and we have coupons. So we're not usually in danger in general of going out. So we weren't too worried about it. And then after we saw all the people going crazy, I went out to the garage and checked, and we've got like 30 rolls of toilet paper. And again, that's not us hoarding. We literally had that from the last time we went shopping at CVS,
yeah,
a month ago. So
I'm happy. I'm on my last roll right now, but it's the last roll from the previous batch. And unlike normal, the last time I went, well, not the last time because that was 2 days ago, but the previous time I went to the grocery store like 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, I need butt paper. And I bought butt paper. And thank goodness, because I'm almost out, and you can't find it anymore.
you can't find it anywhere. We went by Costco on Saturday, and we're like, we'll just get there when it opens, mostly because there was an allergy medicine that Carrie wanted to take a look at, because sometimes what you're working with maybe doesn't work as well as it used to, something like that. And it was on sale. That was pretty much it. Not to go crazy or anything like that. And we got there. They opened at 9:30, and we got there like 9:35, and there's a line, and I'm driving past it to go to the gas stations to gas up first, and Carrie's like, I don't know if I want to go inside. I'm like, well, I see there's a line. She's like, you don't understand. I looked again. The line went up the sidewalk, and then it curved around. What I saw was the other side of the line because it did a U-turn. So it went all the way up the sidewalk, did a U-turn, and came all the way back down. And we ended up going in after gas because by then there really wasn't a line. The only issue was because everyone was inside at that point. So it was.
It was like Black Friday, was
it? Like Black Friday wishes it was this crazy. So yeah, hoarding mentality I think might be part of it. And Chewie said it's unprecedented. People aren't really sure how to do. All they're being told is. Well, by some people that are initially being told for weeks, it's no big deal. And then all of a sudden, it's a big deal. And then they're like, it's not just a big deal. You need to go home and lock your door and never come out. And people are like, okay, what do I need at my house? I need toilet paper, I guess.
Yeah. But, so, like, I think everyone goes into panic mode. And we were talking about this in the Discord server earlier. Like, Stark works at a hospital, and he's like, they seem to have taken away all the, like, masks and gowns and stuff that I need to do my damn job. And they've, like, put them elsewhere. And I said, that's probably because selfish, stupid people were stealing them. Because it's a hospital, they got plenty, they won't miss these few. But if a whole lot of people say it's a hospital, they've got plenty, they won't miss these few, then guess what? They don't have plenty. And then the people that live and work and are staying at the hospital that need them don't have them, but you and your dumbass at home has a handful of masks and gloves and stuff that you're not using because you don't need them.
And you know what the funny thing with the masks is, and I've heard this
They don't do anything.
They don't do it. You know who needs a mask?
The person who's got it.
The person who's got it, because then you're not exuding the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
You're reducing the amount of particulate matter you're exhaling.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Science. And that I'm actually meaning that as a compliment because I don't know. But everybody else is like, well, I want to do everything I possibly can because I don't want to get this disease. What do I know that won't let me get the disease? A mask, especially when you see everybody else in masks. So
yeah.
Hey, I need to go see a person about a dog. I'll be back. You guys keep going.
Okay. So yeah, the whole point of flattening the curve is the assumption that the same amount of people are probably gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want them to all get it at once because it's a respiratory thing, right? So the people that get it and get it bad need things like ventilators. But there's only X number of ventilators available in any given location. And once you run out of those, what do?
Yeah, and it takes time to build them.
Yeah. So right now, if we can all just stay away from each other and don't go to the beach in Florida on spring break, you bunch of freaking idiots. Like, freaking Florida. We should just close the borders to Florida. This was told, no, who was it? It was Victoria said on Twitter that we should just close the border to Florida anyway. And I'm like, we should close the border to Florida whether there's a pandemic or not. Just keep Florida man's dumbass locked down there, away from us normal people. But so, like, yeah. If we stay away from each other, the virus can't spread as quickly, and the healthcare system can handle the load. That's the whole point. Okay? That's the whole reason for this, is trying to explain what that means. And we sort of went off on a couple of tangents there, but that's what we do. So just
a lot of what we do.
That's a lot of what we do. So just, for God's sake, people, try to think about the greater good. Like, to the people who are like, they should let us decide whether or not we go to a Magic Fest. No, this isn't about you. This is about public health. Hey, they've got plenty of gloves and masks. They won't mind if I take a couple. No, this is not about you. I'll buy 12 packs of toilet paper. No, because if you've got 12 packs of toilet paper, that means there's 11 people that didn't get one. You selfish. I can't say those words on this show. Like, we all have to make sacrifices. Like asses were canceled. Bill sent me a picture of a local news station somewhere that said classes canceled, but the dude was standing in front of the CL and it said asses canceled. And I'm like, oh my God! We all had to make sacrifices, but this isn't what I expected. Like, so yeah, this is, I really didn't want to dwell on this for this long, but it's very important. And if you're sick of hearing this, good. You need to be hearing this from everywhere because we're all in this together. And the more people that repeat it, the better chance all of this information will stick in someone's head. So this goofy Magic the Gathering podcast, that's why we're giving you this, is because you have to hear it from everyone. No one is exempt. You are not special. I know no American likes to hear that. Like, what do you mean I can't go out in groups? I'm going to go out in a group because you can't tell me what to do, America. You're an idiot. Go home and sit down. You're killing people. Literally, you're killing people. So anyway, so there's the PSA portion of the show over, right? Do we hit the high bits? Those are the important parts, right? Wash your hands. Like, Monday Night Magic was named that, I think, 3 weeks ago. We named the episode Wash Your Hands. And it's still true. Wash your hands. Even Brian's washing his hands. We're going to be giving him crap for that forever. Just because his choice of wording was just bad. I don't even wash my hands, and I'm washing my hands. Brian, dude. Anyway. Okay, when he gets back, the first thing we need to say to him is, did you wash your hands? Just all of us. So, since, Magic is sort of in a lull right now, like, there's some secret lair thing, from the vault thing, but, listen to Monday Night Magic if you want to hear about that. There's really nothing in Magic right now that I personally wanted to talk about, because I'm not gonna lie, my anxiety level, just for society in general, has been high since about the end of 2016. And this whole global pandemic thing has jumped it way higher. I'm checking in with the parents every day. Did y'all leave the house? Why did you leave the house? I called the house and no one answered. Where the hell are you? We had to go to the grocery store. Jesus Christ. They're like, we washed our hands. We put the groceries away. We washed our hands again. I'm like, all right. I'm proud of it. Please.
The tables have turned.
Yeah, please keep in that frame of mind. So, because I know I'm fine. If I get coronavirus, I'll be fine. I'll just have to stay home for a while and I'll feel like crap, but I'll get better because I have a damn good immune system. But that means I can't go see my parents because they're old. Like, the old man is 75, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not about me. It's about slowing down. I'm also a DoorDasher. If I get it, that means there's no telling how many people that I've given it to incidentally, accidentally. So that's why I'm taking all these precautions. It's not about me. I am not special. Okay? This is important. We have to realize this. But because my anxiety level, like, the baseline is way higher than it has been ever. Because, of course, about the time that I start making enough money that I don't have to panic about rent and bills every single month is when society starts to fall apart. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, now that you don't have your immediate survival to worry about, you have everything else.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, because I'm not so panicked about, okay, can I afford to get groceries this week? Or do I have to, like, try to make what I have last until next week when Twitch pays me? Hopefully Twitch pays me, that sort of thing. Mm. I don't have that, like, narrow stress level anymore. So now I'm looking at the world at large and going, Jesus Christ, we're boned! Like, which we're not. We're going to get through this. We're going to have to make some changes, but we'll get through it. It's just, we just all have to work together. But yeah, since all of these things are running through my head at all times, trying to focus on Magic right now, a game that, let's be honest, I'm only tangentially related to anymore. Well, thank you, Pinball Witch. You threw 100 bits. I have some bits to help get by. Aw. Mwah. Like, trying to focus on something that's Magic just sounded awful. If that makes sense. Like, it sounded like work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, we could do the next set in Invasion. We could, and I was like, why don't we just do an episode that's just like a full episode of Final Thoughts? Because we all have stuff going on, and we always talk about it in, like, the last couple minutes of the show. And so that's what we're going to do now that we've gotten all the PSA stuff out of the way. So, Yeah. Where do we start?
Usually we start final thoughts with Brian or Dirk.
Well, that's because they're about to go, but they're not about to go now. So okay, I know. I'll start. We've got Hearthstone made this like giant Year of the Phoenix announcement that I think caught everyone except for like the people who were invited to go to the big like here's what we're doing in Hearthstone next year thing from a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But like it caught the rest of us off guard. They're adding a 10th class to Hearthstone.
Who
That's
is it?
him.
Demon Hunter.
Okay.
They're adding Demon Hunters to Hearthstone. It's like adding purple to Magic, you guys. They're and I'm like I say that, but that's literally what it is. The classes in Hearthstone are basically like the colors in Magic. And if you add one, you're gonna throw off everything, and they're gonna add one, and it looks awesome.
That's what you do.
Yeah, like it looks awesome. It's gonna be focused. It's gonna be aggressive, I think, and it looks like it's gonna be focused on attacking. They're gonna take that side of Rogue and split it off into its own thing, and Rogue is gonna get its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
That bled into Druid a little bit too.
yeah,
In recent years. Yeah, my question is that did they find untapped design space, or did they just decide on a new intersection of different spaces, or are they actually going to pull a couple things from some other classes to help build it out?
yeah. I think the vibe that I got is that it looks like they're trying to take some of the more like attacky bits, like your hero attacking bits, and some of the aggro and some of the like face hunter type stuff, and just put it all in one place.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also cards in that they've shown for Demon Hunter that aren't just aggro, so it's gonna be like a rounded class. But yeah, I'm hyped. Like I wasn't. I'm like, oh god, that's gonna suck. And then I think it was Trump's video where he just went through what the cards were, and I'm like, that looks amazing. So, yeah, they're also doing a giant rework for Priest. Like an assload of Priest cards are moving to the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
And Leroy Jenkins is moving to the Hall of Fame. Thank goodness.
Goodness gracious. Leroy was I get it, but it's just not right as a modern day Hearthstone card.
Yeah, as I was, I streamed Hearthstone last night because I was hoping Mike would show up so we could do a nerf report, which he didn't. But
No.
while I was playing, I died or won with a Leroy. I don't know, like 5 times. And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, just up and... Oh, I win.
There have been so many times where I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay. I can turn the corner. Okay, click go. And then Leroy freaking Jenkins shows up. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He
has 6 power and he has charge.
With charge.
No.
And he
All the
gives
other
your
text doesn't
opponent
matter.
2/1/1 whelps, but that doesn't matter.
No, because
That
they've
has
already
literally
won.
never mattered, except when the opponent has a knife juggler. And then the knife juggler shoots 2 knives at Leroy. And you're like, what? But that hasn't happened in years to anyone ever. So it was really funny when it did, though. But like, yeah, like I had this crazy. I was playing Rogue, and I had 2 copies of the 10/10 with Reborn and Divine Shield, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with that card. And someone in chat goes, "You have lethal." I'm like, "How do I have lethal?" And I'd already like done stuff and hit go. I'm like, "How do I have lethal?" Oh, there's Leroy and Shadow Step. Oh, I just had lethal. because I drew a shadow step that turn, but I didn't even see it because I was so focused on I got tunnel vision. And I'm like, oh, that's dumb. And then the next turn, I just played Leroy and attacked, and Shadow Step and played Leroy and attacked. I'm like, I can't wait for this card to be gone. I really can't wait. Because in a game with no blocking, like Magic has haste.
Yeah, charges
It's got all kinds of
ridiculous.
haste creatures. It's fine because you can block, but and you have instant speed responses. But in a game like Hearthstone, where you have neither of those, the ability to just 6 to the face is...
Okay, I just got back. Sorry about that.
Did you wash your hands?
Yes. Carrie needs help with Apollo because she has a kind of a bad knee right now, so she needs my help putting him out. It sounds like we're talking about Leroy Jenkins, and I hate Leroy Jenkins. I've hated him since the initial release, where he costed too little, and then you had Shadow Step, and it's just like, oh, I don't like decks where it feels like they can literally do nothing for 6 turns and then just win. I don't like that. But now
wait a minute. Umpex just resubbed with the Twitch Prime for the 8th month on a 3-month streak. Thanks, buddy. Okay, keep going.
But now we have like ways to even like pump him in your hand so that even when he comes down, he's already like, you know, a 26-26. And I'm like, sure, this is awesome. I don't like decks that went out of nowhere. But there's a question that I wanted to ask Dirk for the longest time.
Okay.
The original Leroy Jenkins, the meme, whether it was done on purpose or whether this was a real thing or whatever, is he not the hero in that story?
No, he's the idiot.
No,
Because
he's an
like,
idiot.
okay, because the way I watched that video and I'm like, wow, everything this guild or group or whatever, I don't play WoW, so my perspective is gonna be different. But it sounded like they took 5 minutes to like plan everything out, and I'm like, this is sucking the fun out of everything. And this guy comes in, he's like, cool, let's go do it. And they're all pissed at him. And I guess maybe because he ruined the raid, but I'm like, is he not just the most pure? Isn't this guy? Shouldn't we all be a Leroy Jenkins? So I wanted to ask a WoW player for the longest time, isn't he really the hero in this scenario?
Do you want the long story about that?
No,
I
we
want the,
don't.
like,
So
yes or no?
the short answer is he was an idiot. It's like the guy. It's like when somebody goes and they take a really long poop, and everyone's just sort of waiting on them, and they're formulating plans. Like, all right, guys, let's plan this out while they're in the bathroom, and then we'll brief them really quick on what we decided, and blah 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 blah. And while they're in the middle of planning it, all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's go, and he just runs into a room without having been briefed or knowing what's going on, and everyone's going, oh crap, and then trying to respond to that. So no, he's not the hero. He's the
villain.
He's the barbarian who just says, I'm just gonna run here and beat people up, and instead of winning, gets everybody killed.
And I get that, I do.
Also,
but like,
Infinious just resubbed for the 9th month, and he said, "Are you sure you washed your hands, Brian?"
yes, I am. But and I get that, I really do, from an intellectual perspective. But like Stark says in the comments, he is actually, the joke of the video was everyone setting up the raid was meant to look like an uptight a-hole. And so when I'm watching, again, I know they probably spent a lot of time, and I'm sure that with this raid or dungeon or whatever, they were all trying to get the best gear, and you don't want someone ruining it. But I don't know, I guess.
No. The whole thing is, if you're there doing that particular thing, that's what you do. There is no, let's just go in and see what happens, because then you all die.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
those I've never played WoW except for
And
that.
however many other
unfortunate-
people just wasted their time.
Exactly.
I mean, I get it, but I get it.
It's
Not about you.
The guilds that win world first and everything, they don't just, all right, let's run in and find out what happens. It takes them a long time to plan out, and then they are very meticulous. It's like the Olympics
Okay.
in terms of how specialized and how much time and effort they get. I mean, they train for this. don't get to be on these world class first team, the guilds, by just yeah, I'd like to do that. Oh, okay, sort of thing. I mean, it's a big deal.
I guess it's like any other game, like Magic, where there's people are in it for different reasons, and someone that's in it to be like to play a certain role in their commander group is not going to have the same priorities as someone that is on the pro tour. So I guess my whole thing is, I guess I would, even if I was a better player, I don't know that I'd want to be in. If that's what it took to be quote unquote good at that game, I don't know that I would have fun with it. And it's a game. So, and for other people, I know it's very serious and they put a lot of time into it. I'm just saying that I'm going to pour one out for poor Leroy. Sounds like he probably was in the wrong group to begin with. So,
well, the people who did it, they did it for fun because it was funny, and it is absolutely funny. And it got Leroy Jenkins, especially since the what was the name of the group? It's Friends Forever or Paladin Pals, or it was something that was like, we're going to be friends throughout this whole thing. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you just messed this up for all of us.
Also, Luby Loki Love just subbed for the 5th month with that Twitch Prime. And I can't tell if he said who planned for this or if he said the WHO planned for this.
Right. I mean, these days,
in this day and age, it's hard to tell. Brian, since you missed the beginning of this, did you know Leroy is going to the Hall of Fame?
I did not, and that makes me so happy because in Hearthstone, you'd think, oh, that's a good thing, but that means bye-bye, see you never. So until over the summer, they're like, we want people to play Battlegrounds, so we're gonna bring Ragnaros back. And I guess Evolve was back too, but who cares? So
I think Chewy and I took playing Hearthstone for so long.
Chewy and I actually had opposite reactions to that, where I was like, Evolve, that's cool, but Chewy knows I don't do stupid stuff with it. But I hated Ragnaros and Sylvanos being back because no. And Chewy's
the
like,
Hall of Fame means that it's a card that is essentially being banned in Standard.
Right.
It's a card from the basic or classic set that is being lifted out of the basic or classic set and being put in wild only, which is essentially legacy.
Yeah. Congratulations, you're too good. You're in the Hall of Fame. And I kind of picture, Leroy, in this case, being walked down the aisle, and they're like, you're in the Hall of Fame now. He's like, I am. And they're like, yes, now follow us, Leroy. And they're kind of leading him to
and
the
they're
car.
like, Leroy, we got chicken. And he's like, at least you got chicken. Also, Pinball Witch threw 200 bits and said, hype train? Hype train! Because, the Twitch hype train thing is going.
Woo! So, like Oomplex, that's so weird. It's the opposite. It's kind of like a nice way of saying, you're broken, get out of here.
Get the hell out, yeah.
But no, it's the Hall of Fame. So, no, I did not know that. I saw the video for the longer video, like the 10-minute intro for Ashes of Nether something, outerwear. I'm really not messing this up on purpose. I promise. I don't.
Ashes of Underpants.
Yes. Wait. Hold on. I thought you were being serious for a second there. The Ashes set, and apparently there's going to be a new class, which
Ashes of Outland, it's called.
Outland, and I loved in World of Warcraft, in Warcraft 3, when you could unlock Illidan and Demon Hunters. That's all I did. I was like, all right, sweet, done. So the fact that they're adding a new class after 6 years of people being like, add a new class, and they're like, no, we're good. I think this is really interesting. So,
like I said,
but
it's
I
like
had
adding
not heard
purple
about
to
the Hall
Magic.
of Fame. What's that?
It's like adding purple to Magic.
Yeah, basically. Was there anything else announced?
Let's see. The rank system is being completely reworked.
I saw that.
Priest is getting a massive rework. A bunch of Priest cards are going to the Hall of Fame, and we're getting new cards to replace them.
So basically, they're just changing the focus.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of there's always a Divine Spirit Inner Fire deck.
Right.
Because sometimes that's literally all Priest has. And when that deck works, It's awful.
So
They changed a bunch of priest cards, the one that aren't going to the Hall of Fame. Like Shadow Word Death is going to cost 2,
huh?
Yeah.
and there's a 4. Is it 4? There's a 4-cost spell that says destroy all creatures with power 5 or greater. It's either 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 actually.
So it's a little bit like what Wizards started doing with blue around Onslaught and Mirrodin, where they're like, all right, we need to actually define what blue does. Because for the longest time, blue was just, they're like, we have an effect and it's magic-y. And they're like, put it in blue.
Oh, God, no, it does cost 4.
So
Jesus.
now maybe they're like tightening up what priest actually means. So, okay.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't have any specifics on it yet, right? So
No, I mean, we do. We've got all
Okay,
the cards.
we have
that,
all the
that
cards?
are being changed, all the cards that are being Hall of Famed, and all the cards that are being added.
Oh, holy cow. Okay. I
Like to
didn't
the
know-
basic and classic set, not from the new expansion.
Yeah, no. I saw a preview for the new set earlier today, but I did not realize all that information was out there. Okay, cool.
Let's see. Acolyte of Pain, Spellbreaker, Mind Control Tech, Mountain Giant, and Leroy are all being Hall of Famed.
Hey, mind control tech.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll be
okay
able to play decks that go wide without panicking again.
Yeah. Especially, with the battle cry in Shaman. I feel like
Oh,
I
yeah,
see
the Heart
a
of
lot
Fernald.
there.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah. Quest Shaman with Mind Control Tech was just nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spellbreaker is going away because they don't want a really good silence minion in neutral.
I
Yeah.
was surprised to see that.
I think they're
bumped
trying to
the owl-
make
they bumped the
silence
owl up from
less.
2 to-
Brian, shut up. I think they're
Yeah.
trying to make silence slightly less ubiquitous
Yes.
for everyone. Like they want some classes to be better at it, and the rest of you have to use the stupid owl. But
Right.
having a really good silence for everyone it muddies the world too much.
It limits what they can do design-wise. So what I was saying before Chewie so rudely cut me off was that the owl used to cost what, like 2, and they're like, yeah, no. So owl costs 3 now, right? And we still have owl at 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like they're not getting rid of that.
No, they're just getting rid of the good one.
They're getting rid of the good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mountain Giant is like an auto include for every deck that just has a bunch of cards in hand.
Yeah.
And I love Mountain Giant with a fiery passion, but it's time for it to go. Yeah.
It's time for it to go. Yeah.
So, yeah. Was that it? There's priest stuff. They're reworking ranked. They're reworking ranked rewards, so you get more stuff as you rank up. If you haven't played in a long time, you're gonna get a free deck of your choice. If you haven't logged in for the past 4 months, I think, then you can log in and get a free deck.
I mean, that's cool. I actually really like that.
Your mic moved again, Brian.
Sorry about that. I grabbed some dessert while I was downstairs because I was starving, and I'm purposely not eating popcorn right in front of the microphone because I think it would
I
be
appreciate you.
it would be the end of the world. But all I was going to say about that is I think that's great to incentivize people to come back. I just feel like because that means they missed Descent of Dragons, and that was a really cool set.
Well, it'll have the free deck will have cards from that set, or
Right.
from the Year of the Dragon.
Right. I'm
So
just
that's
saying,
cool.
like, they haven't been here for that so far. That's all.
Yeah, this is my favorite Hearthstone meta in a long time.
It's pretty cool, and I am enjoying Battlegrounds for the most part.
Ooh, they're also changing packs. You know how with legendaries you can't get a duplicate until you have all the legendaries?
I heard about this, and I
Yeah,
think that's
they're changing
awesome.
all the rarities to work like that.
So now it's more like Overwatch boxes. Is that how the Overwatch boxes work?
Yeah. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that might have been one of the changes that has one of the most far-reaching implications. Now, it's important you still get dupes because sometimes you need dust.
Yeah.
But this isn't saying you'll never have dupes. It's saying that you won't get 3 of a common until you already have 2 of it.
So you already have two of all of them.
Two of all of them. Yeah. Yeah. Well, of course
So,
you won't get a third one until you have 2 of it, because that's how math works.
That is how math works. Yeah. But like, I have this really awful luck where when I'm opening like the pre-order packs, there'll be like 5 epics that I just don't get, but there'll be one that I get like 6 freaking copies of, and it's always a bad one. It's never one that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's Hearthstone. The Year of the Phoenix I think is gonna be cool because we get Demon Hunter, we get essentially a brand new meta, we get a big rotation. Okay, what's going away? Boomsday, Witchwood, and that other one. I always miss one.
No.
No.
Not the
Here we
Grand
go.
Tournament.
Year of the Raven, Witchwood, Boomsday, or Rostacon's Rumble.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Not the Grand Tournament, the other tournament. What's it called?
Oh yeah, that is the other tournament. Good
It
call.
is the other tournament. And actually, this won't affect me too badly because I played for Witchwood and I loved the heck of it. And that was around the time that I kind of fell off until Saviors of Olddoom. So
Yeah,
I don't
that
think I really
means-
bought almost any Rastakhan.
That means no more Ziliax and no more Snip Snap, and those are both huge because they go in
Ziliax
almost
can-
every deck.
Ziliax can die in a fire. So, yeah. Like
Damn.
the number. Well, yeah, the number of times
saved
where
my
I'm like,
ass so many times.
the number of times where I'm like, I think I've got this, and they're like Ziliax, and I'm like, yeah, awesome, woo. I don't really care about Snip Snap, but Ziliax can go. So
See, I mentioned Snip Snap specifically because he was added later and was free to everybody, but he was put in the Boomsday project, so he's going to be rotating even though he wasn't in that set. He was retroactively added to that set.
yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't show up in packs.
The even and odd masters from Witchwood were really cool, and then they went ahead and banned them early.
Yeah, because they didn't want them to dominate every single other set that came after them.
Which, I mean, I get that, I really do, and maybe that's a design mistake or not. But it's one of
It
those
was.
like, oh, that's rotating, and like, oh wait, but they already, so never mind.
Yeah. So I guess that's Hearthstone. We'll stop there. Dirk, what you got?
Well, one thing that last week, whenever we were recording, there was the question about I had a final thought and I couldn't remember what it was. Well, not like 15 minutes after I'd gotten off and everything, I thought, oh, that's what it was. It was Castlevania Season 3. So Castlevania Season 3, I hadn't seen it at the time, but I was going to say, oh, I'm looking forward to it. They kind of ended it on a note of, well, and spoiler alerts for Season 2, Dracula dies. So they're like, well...
Wait, you mean the point of every Castlevania game is kill Dracula? Happened in the
know.
Castlevania show?
So
What?
a question. So it was a question of, well, what exactly are they going to do from this point on? I'm curious. And so I have now officially watched the whole season. And all I have to say is it was really good. But also, as with all the other Castlevania, series, the seasons, it kind of left you with a, what in the world did I just watch? And it definitely lives up to that vibe of, wow, I really liked it, but at the same time, like I don't know what I just watched. I think I'm gonna have to take about a little while to kind of digest and think through what just happened.
I'm about halfway through the season, and I'm not going to go into anything that happens to anybody except that on the episode I finished watching yesterday, one of the characters has a dream, and the art style changes. It doesn't just change a little bit. It's like, do you know the scene I'm talking about, Dirk?
I'm trying to recall, but
Okay.
keep going.
Well, a gentleman, a guy, a male character has a dream, and in the dream, the art style changes drastically. It's like you're reading a comic book, and all of a sudden, somebody slips an Oculus over your head and sets it to, I don't know, Roman poetry. It's really different. So, and it kind of felt like, is this what like being on a trip would be like? Seriously. So I'm enjoying the season so far. I enjoyed the first season a lot. I enjoyed parts of the second season. But third season so far I'm digging.
Yeah.
I still haven't started season 3, but I will at some point, I guess. I'll get it all eventually.
Yeah, it like all I can say is that it's a season that has a lot of that has its ups and it has its downs. Because everyone is in different directions, there's kind of multiple stories going on at the same time. And the characters that you thought, okay, I really don't like this character because of their situation and everything, you're kind of left kind of going this season going, I really hope that they win. I really hope good things happen for them. And yeah. And again, I don't want to go into and spoil anything and trying to be as ambiguous as possible. But there was one particular character that, because of his background, I was sort of left with the impression of I don't like this character. But this season I found him to be one of I really am kind of rooting for him. And so I'm curious to see what happens with the. Again, I'm going to assume that there's going to be a fourth season, seeing as everyone's stuck at home, and I can only assume that the people who came up with the series and everything are also stuck at home. So what else should you do but come up with a fourth season while you're at it?
Well, I mean, you can't make this from home, I don't think.
You can at least start writing.
You can, but
like kind of come up with the story, like the future story and what the story of the fourth season would be. You can kind of come up with the blueprints and storyboard it from there. But again, I really am curious to see what happens with a couple of characters.
Okay. So you've already said that Dracula dies at the end of the second season. No. I kind of thought that what it might do then, with starting with season 3, is maybe go forward in time and start seeing more Belmonts. And I saw the preview, and I'm like, oh, that's not what we're doing. Didn't really get any. I didn't want to know too much. I don't like knowing too much, but I was kind of surprised we weren't moving on to another Belmont. But maybe we will do that in the next couple of seasons. But I haven't finished season 3 yet, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping at some point they wrap up all of the current timeline stuff and we get to jump forward to Simon.
That's what I'm hoping. Or
jump back to Christopher.
Yeah. Like stuff that they haven't done to death.
Yeah.
As much as I like the Symphony of Darkness and all that, although I've actually never played Symphony of Darkness, but
obviously
I know
because
the
it's
culture
called
of
Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Whatever. Nocturne of My Innocence of Your or whatever.
That's one of the Game Boy Castlevanias.
But
actually,
I feel
it might
like,
be.
But yeah, like Christopher from Adventure or something like that. I think that would be cool. I find sometimes that shows are a little too reluctant to leave certain characters behind. Did you guys ever watch Glee?
No.
Okay. I actually saw the first season was excellent. And where it comes in, you have these kids, and most of them are sophomores. And after the third season, certain characters graduate. And I'm like, they sent one off in what I thought was a really poetic way. I'm like, this is great. Now we'll see the new generation and all that sort of stuff. And I guess because everybody expected to see these characters again, who did we see in season 4? But these characters again. And a couple new ones. And most of the new ones didn't make it past half the season because they're like, we want to do these people forever. And I'm like, but you missed the opportunity to introduce new characters and new storylines and all that because you got to have the core. Like, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you're not going to kill off Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Maybe you'll make into a vampire, I don't know. But she's going to be there. It's in the name. But something like Glee, something like this, I really hope they don't feel like, well, we're committed to Trevor forever, season 10, Trevor getting drunk in a bar.
We had to recast the castle.
Needs more Vania.
Also, Castlevania, the series, was written by Warren Ellis.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's one of my favorite comic writers. He wrote, just off the top of my head, 2 things that I literally just finished reading back to back. I read Planetary, which if you haven't read Planetary, oh my God, look it up. It's amazing. And Transmetropolitan, which in the current political times, yeah, is very prophetic and fitting. Yeah. I finished that literally this morning.
I did not realize Transmet is a very interesting comic book to read.
Yeah, I kind of wish.
Did I borrow yours? Is that how I read it?
I don't know. Did you? I don't know if I had him in college or not.
Because I borrowed it from somebody. Because that's how I ended up reading it.
Oh, it might have been then. But like so many comics writers from the 90s, I guess we're moving into a new topic now. Well, not the 90s, the 2000s. Like, I loved Preacher back in the day. That's Garth Ennis, not Warren Ellis. But it's very much like it's telling a really good story, a really meaningful story. But he went so hard in the like shocking comics, and some of it, now that I'm older, is just gross or pointlessly graphic or pointlessly questionable taste. Like when I was younger, I thought, oh, that's pretty funny. Reading it again, I'm like, I really wish they could have eased up on some of this and focused on the story. But a good story doesn't always sell comics, but the shock does. Mm-hmm. And Transmetropolitan is nowhere near as
it's more like a high culture sort of novel, comic book.
I wouldn't go that far, but
well, it's one that it brings up themes that he talks about, such as like the one that always comes to mind is the people who were thawed out, and the people, they go in, they thaw them out. Well, this didn't thaw out right, so we'll just start from scratch and everything. And then you have these people who are out of place, out of time, and they have no place in society, and then they're just sort of the homeless.
Yeah, he's talking about people, because Transmetropolitan takes place in the future of some sort, and he's talking about people that were cryogenically frozen in like our time, that have a contract to be thawed out whenever possible,
like a cure for cancer or a cure for whatever ailed them, and then when they're thawed out, they have nothing.
Oh, like Vanilla Sky. Except you actually cover the waking up part.
Man, I really liked that movie the first time I saw it, and then I saw it again a few years later, and I was like, "This is dildos." But
there's a storyline in a fiction podcast I listened to, recent storyline where the people are frozen, and then later on, these time traveling robots start coming back from the future and tearing things up. And it turns out the people who were frozen, their brains were put into the robots and they got enslaved as workers in the future.
Oh God.
That's kind of cool. I enjoy a good subversion of expectations.
Yeah, like, but a bunch of the themes and the topics that Spider Jerusalem, the main character in Transmetropolitan, and Warren Ellis, touches on are very deep and very important. But there's also lots of swearing and nudity and, silliness. But it's nowhere near as bad as Preacher for that sort of thing. But it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see a version of Transmetropolitan with all of that not removed, but toned down a little bit. Just so... But I guess, in the case of Transmet, that's there for the people that just want to see, boobies and see swearing. And then while they're getting the boobies and the swearing, they're also absorbing all of these deeper things.
I guess that's always been my issue. Not always. When I was a kid, especially in high school, I'm like, swearing, haha. But, once you start to do it and you're like, it's what all your friends are doing. But, to me, I guess maybe as an old man or whatever, like, it's all about impact. And the more you use something, especially without really context, the less it means.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, here's a shocking scene. Here's some profanity just to have it. And why do we have it? Because we got to have it, I mean, this is where it goes. Haven't you read the stuff?
Yeah, if it doesn't serve the story, it just kind of seems dumb and immature.
Yeah.
And that's most of my problem with Preacher, is that the shocking bits, for the most part, are just there for shock value. Whereas in Transmet, it's part of what's going on, but in Preacher, it's not as such. I really need to watch the show.
The AMC show?
I guess. I don't remember what. I know it's on Hulu. It's on my list on Hulu. I just never bothered to start watching it because I have all this other stuff. And currently, when I just want to chill and have Hulu running, you know what I'm watching? You know what I'm watching on a Hulu when there's not a new episode of Bob's Burgers? You will literally never guess this, so I'm just going to tell you.
Rewatching Cheers.
No, that's on Netflix, and I've already watched Cheers all the way through twice in my lifetime. I think I'm good. Well, no, when there's no new episode of Bob's Burgers, I'm watching Designing Women, because I freaking love that show.
I used to watch that.
Damn right you did.
I mean, I have no shame over it. I mean, it was one of those shows that I thought it was funny, and so I used to watch it. I probably wouldn't watch it today. There's other things I'd rather watch instead, but
it's usually late at night when I'm like I get up from here and I go out to the living room, and there's nothing in my YouTube subscription feed that I want to watch, but I don't want to start a movie. I'll just turn on Designing Women and watch like 2 episodes, and then I'll go to bed.
What is Designing Women about? I don't know that I've heard of it.
Oh my God, Brian! It's
okay. I don't really watch.
After you get done with
Brian, Designing Women is from when we were kids, bruh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Golden Girls?
It's like a '90s show.
Yeah, it's like Golden Girls but younger and in Georgia. It's 4 women. And
Delta
Anthony.
Burke's one of the women.
Yeah, it's Annie Potts, Delta Burke, Jean Smart, and Dixie Carter, and they own an interior design business or they work at an interior. One of them owns it, interior design firm in Georgia, and it's very. It's good. Like they're all well written. They're all awesome. It's very like. I think part of the reason why I'm as like feminist as I am when it comes to like, how to treat women and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's because of Dixie Carter in Designing Women when I was a kid. Because she is very much a modern woman at the time. And that I think that it affected me in a good way. Like I was like, huh. So it turns out women are people. All right, I'll remember that. And a little thing popped up in the top of the screen, like in a Telltale game. It says, Chewie will remember that.
And see, I just want to say to anyone that wonders, well, is it really important to, show people of different backgrounds and opinions and things in TV? It's not
Yes.
going to affect anybody because I've seen women before and I know what a woman looks like.
I might have some questions for you later.
Brian, can you draw Mike a diagram for God's sake?
I find that exceptionally funny because you know what?
But wash your hands first
So
and afterwards.
yeah, so we've been home, right? Obviously, like everybody else. And one of the things I want to do was free up some space on the bookshelf for Sam's books because Sam has a lot of books. So I started moving some of the photo albums upstairs and found some of the wedding albums.
Oh,
The wedding album and some of the other photo albums we had put together ourselves from around the wedding. And first of all, Mike without a beard is just weird. And second of all, the pictures. I didn't take any pictures, obviously, at the bachelor party, but took a couple pictures of the cake that Mike brought to my bachelor party. So I just thought of that because we saw it a little while ago, and just thinking of drawing a diagram of a woman for Mike. I'm like, well, clearly he already has a basic idea of the anatomy. Because for those that don't know, Mike handmade or designed the top of my bachelor party cake.
Yeah, I got a little chocolate cake from a Harris Teeter, and used decorating icing to draw a stick figure stripper on it for
Yes.
Brian's bachelor party.
And it's a stick figure with 2 round circles right under its arms, and it's got a pole over on its side, and it's awesome. And I had it meant a lot to me, don't get me wrong, but it's been literally 13 years this July. And I found that album and I'm like, oh, yes. So,
damn, that's eerie. I'd forgotten all about that.
and yet
I
now
had done it once before. I'd made a practice one just to see whether the idea I had in my head could actually be executed, and that worked out well. And the one that I actually brought to the dinner we had for your bachelor party, when I went to go pick up Jimmy, I got the cake at the Harris Teeter there in Chapel Hill, and I set it on top of the trunk of my car and decorated it out there in the parking lot with Jimmy standing there before we got back into the car to drive over to Greensboro.
Yes.
That's pretty damn funny.
So yeah, I think Mike knows what a woman looks like.
Roughly.
But so anyway, I took away from your message, but hey, you were exposed to a positive female through an entertainment medium, and it shaped your young, impressionable mind.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But like when you hear someone say, well, how am I supposed to explain gay people to my kids? Like, you don't.
In very simple terms.
Yeah, if they're aware that this is a thing, they'll just accept it. Like, oh, he has 2 mommies. He has 2 daddies. You have a mommy and a daddy. All right, cool, gotcha. And they go on about their business. But if you make it weird and other, then they grow up to be, in some cases, just like you, closed-minded and hateful. So, like, let's not do that.
Yeah. I mean, yes, like the vast majority of the time when a kid asks a question, they're really just expecting like the simple answer to their top level question. When they get that, then yeah, they'll be satisfied.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we live in 2020, right? That's what I thought.
That's
it was
what I hear, yeah.
2020. And I was at the bank the other day, and a teller was helping me. I was just doing a deposit. Happened that the teller I was with, because I was next, was a Caucasian male, and next to him, the next teller was an African American woman, and I'm talking to the guy, and he's running my thing, so I'm just kind of chilling, and the lady says, I'll take the next person, and behind me I hear a very gruff guy say, "Oh, I'll wait," And I turn around and it's a white guy in a construction outfit. And the teller didn't bat an eye. She's like, okay, help the next person after him. And guy comes up and she's helping him. But I'm like, that feels a little weird. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, like what is this 1950 freaking six? Like, grow up.
I'm not sure why they had to wait for someone else. And so I didn't make the guy take more time for me, but I may have chatted a little longer just to what happened. And eventually, but we wrapped up, and so I walked, and as soon as I was barely even out of the way, the guy, I don't know, he even really waited for the guy to call him forward. He came up, and I wasn't trying to listen or anything, but it sounded like he was just making a withdrawal. So I'm not sure what was so problematic about the other teller. I have an idea, and it really kind of honestly upsets me. Maybe I should have said something, but I don't know that I would have changed his mind. So
it could. Now, just to spitball here, that's the first and most obvious answer. But it could be that like he's buddies with the guy you were working with.
Could be. Although again, it sounded like he just went up there and just like no chit chat, just like, I want some money. Give me some money.
Yeah, well.
But hey, I don't know. Maybe has he dealt with her before? Maybe it felt like something didn't go right, because I've been to a restaurant and I've
had a teller completely make something simple be really complicated before.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, it's I just can't. I'm like, so I'm not saying where this was, I'm not saying anything. You literally have the information I had, as far as I don't know who any of these people were. But I just kind of left feeling like, did that actually happen? This is not a TV show. Almost the opposite of Chewie's reaction of sometimes you think, maybe if you're sheltered, that, we're past some of this stuff. Are we? I hope we are.
We are not.
According to the internet, we're not. So.
You're a funny person.
Go back and beat the dog out of him.
That's right. Don't you consider it?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, hey, look, we're supposed to be uplifting, right? I mean, I know we're allowed to talk about what we want, but let's not dwell too much on the things that are going wrong with the world. There are things that are going right with the world as well, right?
Hey, Mike, what you got? You got anything? Mike's like, nope, everything sucks all the time. And I'm like, that's my line.
It's been interesting. I've been working from home so far this week, which isn't usually an option for my company, even though there's plenty of jobs that can't be done from home. Clearly mine can. And it's interesting. It's a real mixed bag. It's like, I feel like the temporary change of scenery has made it a little easier to focus somehow. Who knows when that's going to wear off? There's no interruptions. It's just no background noise. But then again, it's like, it's harder for me to just go walk over to someone and do a quick walk by question, or just an over the wall question. I feel like there's more conference calls, since you can't just go over and talk to someone, or gather in someone's office to discuss something. And like, just the little simple, like, non-business day-to-day interactions, not having those does actually make a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
There's no like, hey, how you doing? There's no, people who aren't on the team that I work with, but I've still, known for a long time and see around a lot. I have absolutely no interaction with them, in this state, because there's no business reason for me to do so. I don't know their personal phone number to just be, call them up around 10 o'clock. It's like, hey man, what's up? I'm going to go get a snack. How you doing? It's just kind of weird.
Chat has a question for you, Mike.
What's that?
Are you still dressing for work?
I'm not as I usually do. Like, I'm putting jeans and a t-shirt on. I'm not putting on, slack shirt, tie to go sit on the couch.
But you're also not, white t-shirt and gym shorts.
No.
Like, that you slept in.
No, I would start to feel gross after a while, and I wouldn't be able to concentrate.
Spoilers. Also, Mike sleeps naked. Okay,
can't
Mike. If that's
do-
not true, don't ruin the fantasy. All right, just let it go. This
Okay,
just
all right, I'll let it go. Like I do have a desk set up here, but it's like got a bunch of stuff piled on it, and it has like various parts of my old computer still on and around it, taking up space, and I don't feel like clearing it out. So yeah, I just have my work laptop and a nice little lap desk, and I sit here on the couch, and that's been good. You know, I have my headset with my microphone, and so yeah, it's been an interesting experience. I'm also in the middle of wedding planning, which is getting stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you this year.
wait.
man.
What kind of planning?
Wedding planning.
For who, Mike? Because our listeners have no idea what you're talking about.
I think do odds and ends people know, or did we not put that in odds and ends?
What? Yeah, it just hasn't gone up yet.
Oh, okay. Got it. So yes, for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's about time.
And yeah, seriously.
Wait a
And
minute. I'm
that's-
older than he is.
Yes, but you haven't been in a serious relationship for the last. How long have you guys been together?
I guess it's about 4 years now.
All right.
Oh wow.
Mhm. And we've been
Pinball Wits
Thanks.
through 100 congrats bits. I'm keeping those though, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Stark. Stark says, I can't believe Chewie and Mike are finally getting married.
Yeah. Mike's whole wait until marriage thing has been killing me.
But yeah, but it's something that we've been talking about for, you know, much longer than from when we got engaged.
Right.
So part of the complication is that we're like trying to do it relatively soon, like end of August. And
I don't
So-
know about that, bro.
well, I mean, there are things that are available. It's just that the selection is a little more limited than we would like, and just everything is so damn expensive.
Oh yeah,
And
that's rule
also-
number one with weddings is, you know, you go to a venue and you're like, I want to have a party here, and like it's $100, and like that party is a wedding. They're like, it's $1,000. So
Mhm.
Also, hey Mike,
Yes.
I'm not coming to your wedding in the midst of social distancing, bro. I love you, but
Well, I know. I mean, we'll just have to see how things. We'll just have to see how things go.
yeah. But I don't envy you. I mean, I'm so happy for you, but timing, Mike, just timing. Like, I'm sure it's stressful enough already, and then adding this on top of it. So,
Yeah, it's like we finally settled on the date that we were both comfortable with, some number of weeks ago, and then everything.
and then the
started
Fire Nation
changing.
attacked. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It's
Stark said
amazing.
you
how-
may now stay at a respectable distance from and wave at the bride.
Yeah.
I mean, like how much stuff has changed in literally the last 7 days. Is
Oh, that's funny.
a week ago Sam was at school, so and so was
yeah,
Dirk.
yeah, and there's been this like open question recently of like, okay, then would it actually be best to just plan for a small family ceremony and like a nice dinner out afterwards, and then plan a thing to invite people to for sometime later?
Yeah, I
Maybe.
mean that's how
I
some
mean,
people do
probably.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, nobody heard that. You guys didn't,
No.
but they did. Live stream the wedding. No. Okay, Mike,
didn't.
I'll bring my webcam.
Or he'll drop it off at his house and run away, and when he gets out there, he can wipe it down and take it inside.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like what people are doing with the food you're leaving, right? Are you actually like putting food in people's hands, or are you just putting it down and ringing the doorbell?
I have had one order that was a no contact order, and that was today. Today, actually, DoorDash switched over to where that's the default is requesting a no contact. And thus far, I only had the one who did choose that. So I put the burrito down in front of her apartment door, knocked, took about 5 steps back, and then waited. And she opened the door, bent down and took it, said, "Thank you very much." I said, "Have a good night." I walked away and swiped that it was delivered. Because I'm not going to sit it down and leave. Like, I have to make sure you get your food.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I think I had heard somewhere that places were doing that. Like, so.
So what else?
Yeah. What else?
So yeah, Mike's getting married.
Yeah.
He told us, and then the next week on the show I said, "Anything you want to announce?" And Mike went, "Nah." I said, "Okay." And then the next week, Brian said something about a wedding. I'm like, "Yeah, that's your theoretical wedding that you'll have one day." And Brian was like, "Oh yeah."
And Mike didn't do anything with it. So
yeah.
Yeah, I just hadn't decided at that point whether I felt like saying anything.
So yeah, when he said wedding planning, I was like, "Wait, what? Are we telling people this?"
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's what's going on.
So yes, I'm planning my brother's wedding. He's marrying a hamster. Like, are Thomas and the hamster still together?
No.
Oh, good. That hamster was not good for him. Would you believe I still haven't washed the Swift shirt that I got at the damn Swift concert because it keeps ending up on the bottom of my laundry basket? And so, like, I fill my my washer from the top, and then like, and I'm like, okay, that's full, and then I'll do like towels, and then I'll do whites, and then I'll find the Minotaur shirt, and I'm like, oh crap. And I'll pull it out and put it on top. But then by the time I do laundry again, all the laundry's been piled on top of it. So I'll do darks.
Yeah.
And then I do towels. And then I do whites. And I find it. And I'm like, damn it. So I thought about that today when I put this Swift shirt on, which you guys can't see, but I'm wearing one of my Swift shirts. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where is that? I still haven't washed that, have I? No, I haven't. Because I'm an idiot.
And it's such a great design, too.
It is! I gotta fight the Minotaur Swift shirt. And which is the one I tried to get at the last Swift show I went to years and years ago. And they handed me one. And when I got home, I opened it up and it was this one with the engine on it. And I went, oh, well, that's fine. No, it was later that night. I opened it up and I went, oh, wait. And I went back. I said, hey, I wanted the Minotaur. You gave me this one. And they were out. And I said, that's cool. I'll keep this one. It still says Swift. I don't care. I did lean back and gesture to this Swift shirt when I said this Swift shirt. Because I'm used to having the webcam on, but we do this podcast. There isn't. Here, wait a minute. Wait. This Swift shirt. Okay. See, for those of you listening in the audio version, you're like, what? I switched over to the webcam. And yeah, I know the lighting's all screwy because I've got the overhead light on instead of my webcam lighting, but whatever. You'll get over it. Anyway. What was I going to say? I got nothing.
Not sure.
There was something, and then it fell off. Well, what's anybody else got?
Is anyone
cool stuff?
like planning on building a new deck or anything for our next get together?
See, that's a good question about
Which will happen sometime in August or September.
Yeah, I know we had talked about getting together in April, but obviously if things aren't drastically improved, if we're still supposed to be socially distancing.
I know the recommendation is less than 10, but still.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I have had my hands on a couple cards to go ahead and build some decks, and I'm thinking maybe this weekend. But yes, when they will be. I will have new decks when we get together, whenever that might be. Why do you ask?
Oh, I was just curious. This is a point of conversation.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
I actually like pre-ordered a number of things from the new Theros just because they look so cool and interesting, but they're still sitting here in little piles on my coffee table. I haven't done anything with them.
Well,
Bad
you
at
got a
this
little
game.
bit of time.
Yeah.
I was thinking about building a standard deck, trying it at F&M a couple times, and then going to um, GP Charlotte, which has not been canceled yet, but
yeah, it has.
it has.
I thought so. Oh wait, maybe not.
But
I'll go look. CFBevents.com. Schedule. I thought Charlotte had been canceled. Yes, it has. It's the last one to get canceled.
Okay.
The next one after that is Toronto in May 22nd to 24th, but I don't expect
Okay.
that one to last.
Okay, so I was thinking about going to that one and playing a deck and trying to get it ready. And obviously, it's not not going to happen at this point. But I am planning on a couple decks for when we get together, whenever that might be. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess I haven't done my quote unquote final thought yet, and now that it's after 10, maybe it'll be closer to an actual final thought. And so last week I mentioned I'm doing some mobile games. I'm still enjoying those. I'm enjoying ManaStrike. I just haven't played it a whole lot in the last week because, believe it or not, even staying at home, I've actually doubled down, trying to make sure I'm being productive with getting stuff ready for taxes, trying to do as much work as I can from home for cases and things like that, so that when they actually get heard, I'm ready to go. But I am enjoying ManaStrike quite a bit, and I didn't actually have anything really planned for this. I'm hope everybody is being all healthy. I guess something I want to say. So I saw
Did you wash
earlier.
your hands? Is that what you're gonna say?
No. So earlier, earlier tonight, I did see that the president of AMC Theaters was saying, we're hoping to get some money, from a bailout or anything like that. We need some liquidity because, movie theaters have never, for a while, have not been in great shape, generally speaking. You have streaming services. Why go to the movies when you can stream it from home? Although a lot of people do like that experience, that's for them. For other people, it's cheaper and more convenient to stay home. But this is an employer that employs literally thousands of people, so it's important to take into consideration. I get why some people may not want them to get money. I get why some people would want them to get money. But I did that thing you're not supposed to do, and I went to the
Read
comments.
the YouTube comments?
Read the comments.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it wasn't on YouTube. It was a news outlet. But
Those are probably worse.
here's the thing.
I mean, even NPR turned off their comment section several years ago.
So I get that not everybody knows how movie theaters work, and I worked in movie theaters for like 4 summers or more. I can't remember how many now. It was a while. But every time somebody complained about like, whoa, where's the money from the concessions go? I want to scream a little more, because here's something that maybe not everybody knows. Do you know, with those like $20 tickets to get into the theater, do you know how much of that the theater keeps?
It's not much.
It doesn't. It's like less than 1%. It's like less than 0.5%. The concessions pay for everything. That's why you're paying, huge amounts of money. No one is making you buy concessions, and B, it's paying for everything, including the people that work there. So when I read a comment like, well, why'd I spend, $20 on popcorn and drink and whatever? And then somebody responds to that, it's all going to the executives. And I'm like, I hate. So I just, but I get that it's expensive, and I get that everybody right now is stressed, and they figure it's an expensive thing. So, I mean, on a basic level, I guess I get it. And bailout has a negative connotation, especially after the 2008, and people don't like, especially people that are fiscally conservative, don't like the idea of, well, we have to take taxpayer money and give it to these industries, even though these industries can't support themselves because they they were forced into these extremely unforeseen consequences. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Everybody's being. Do I have a point to this? Maybe if I have a point, it's that yes, we are all a little, if we're being honest with ourselves, scared. There's other ways to put it, but scared. We're nervous. We don't know how this is going to go. But instead of maybe jumping right on the like, well, this doesn't affect me, so it's not necessary. This is going to affect everybody pretty much everywhere because, you don't eat at a restaurant. Well, that restaurant employs people. You don't have kids in school. Well, they got to be home. So maybe mom and dad could work, but now they have to take care of them, etc. So let's think of compassion first and blaming each other later. I feel like that's something that can be applied all the time when there is and isn't a pandemic, but maybe some people need a reminder.
Yeah.
We can all be decent to each other. And now more than ever, now that we don't have the opportunity, in fact, we're being commanded not to interact with random people, but just basically to keep to ourselves. Maybe treat the people you do interact with decency. Hot take. I know. Revolutionary stuff. So, I mean, I could sit here and talk about mobile games for a while, enjoy mobile games, join Dragon Quest, and all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. I'm good. Sam's doing well. They have been giving her a boatload of work for school. They are not taking it easy on her at all. And, I'm glad that they're applying themselves. And I'm glad they're, like, she's working on a project. I'm like, other classes, other schools might be like, it's just, this is a lot of work, but the teachers have put in the work, they put the assignments together, we're going to get it done. So bottom end of the day, my family's doing all right. Not every family is. I am extremely fortunate, and I try to remember that, and I hope that everybody comes out of this okay.
Yeah.
But mobile games are pretty cool, and it's nice that we have. It's nice that we have an escape. Hopefully, the internet doesn't shut down, or like Spectrum doesn't like lose their stuff from everybody now being at home on their private, lines instead of some people being at home, some people being at work. Hopefully, we don't get overwhelmed, but so far everything seems okay. We're all talking to each other over the internets.
Yeah. I know there's some extra strain going on. It's like, of course, with all the people, with so many more people working from home and using things like Skype calls and GoToMeeting and WebEx and whatever, those services are under pretty serious strain too.
Yeah.
Like every day so far this week, there's been at least one email from the company IT department saying, yes, we know about the problems people are having with GoToMeeting, and we're in contact with the vendor, and they say they're working day and night to get everything straightened out.
Mhm.
Their servers are getting wrecked right now.
Reminds me of something Dirk was complaining about in the pre-show odds and ends, which unfortunately
Mm.
you guys won't get to listen to because my dumb ass was muted. But it was really mostly just doom and gloom and anger. Mostly anger. Not so much doom, but gloom and anger. So maybe that's a good thing. That's
we
unusable.
can't do any of that because there was a great deal of things said that would definitely not would probably get us flagged. Mostly from me in terms of the language. Let's just say I'm not happy.
Oh
That's
man, you
true.
guys miss Dirk swearing if I don't put that part
Like a
up.
lot.
They're gonna miss out on the rare Dirk swear.
I know, right? Damn it. So you guys want to do this thing that we have?
Times it.
It's 10:20. Do we want to do it this time or do we want to save it? What do you say, Dirk?
Yeah.
It's not very
You're asking the
long.
wrong person.
Let's if Dirk's okay to stick around. I mean,
Yeah, let's run it.
we've literally done our final thoughts, right? So
I mean, it's the whole episode, so yeah.
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 All right, then let's do this thing and then go.
All right, chat. We have a listener submitted Mad Lib. Dun dun dun. This actually came from Infinious, who did this super slick spreadsheet. So, like, I don't have to try to think about anything. I just type stuff in, and then I flip over, and the output is right here. Like, let me see. If I type the word boobies in here and go to output. Oh, no, it doesn't put stuff here.
Oh,
wait.
Setup.
What?
And
Oh, wait. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. This word doesn't appear. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. We're good. That's... Never mind. All right, so let's go. Dorks.
Yes.
I need a plane.
Ikoria.
No, don't type it in the Twitch chat, you idiot. Type it over here. Icroy. I can't spell that. Ikoria. All right. Now I need a vehicle. Chat, I need a
Smuggler's
class.
Smuggler's Copter.
Smuggler's Copter, of course. Smuggler's Copter. Oldsmobile. I hate, and social studies. Pirate, there we go. Stark, I hate you. Okay. Dorks, give me... Are there pirates in Magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There's lots of
Like-
empires.
Oh, yeah, we just had like a whole... Yeah, Ixalan had
Like-
pirates all over it.
Vraska was a pirate for a while.
Sorry, my brain went to Hearthstone, and I'm like, no, this is Magic. I'll be all right.
Does Magic have dragons in it?
It does. We did a whole episode on that one. I knew that one. Plus, I play Shivan Dragon in my Kenrith's ManaStrike deck. Okay, right. Dorks. I need a creature type. Chat, give me a creature aura.
Uncle Isfin is no longer a type, right?
Correct.
No.
Oh. Hey, Dark, what's a creature type?
Creature type. Let's go with Or. Oh, creature type. Well,
Wait, what did he say? He blinked out just as he said it.
I said Aurochs.
Okay.
Aurochs.
Aurochs.
I don't know if they still have that or if it's been retired, but whatever.
It counts.
Yeah.
Chat did not give me an aura. Pinball Witch said indestructible aura, but that's an instant.
I think it's a sorcery.
Oh, is it a sort? What a piece of crap card.
I know.
It's got the most metal art ever, though.
Which card is that? I missed that.
Indestructible aura.
Indestructible aura.
Oh, that's right.
It is not an aura and does not grant indestructible.
Giganticism. Is that a card? Oh, it
Sounds-
is.
I thought
yeah.
that was an instant.
What, Giganticism?
thought so.
I don't know. I don't play Magic. Gigantic.
Or
Gigantic.
Do we need to check that one to see if it's a real card?
How the hell do you spell that? Giganticism. Search. That is not a card. But Stark said gigantiform. Oh, that's what she was trying to
There
say.
you go.
Okay. Gigantiform. There we go. All right. Hey, dorks, give me a creature.
It's called a Scissorit or whatever, the red legendary dumb guy from Invasion.
Skizix?
Skizix, yeah.
Is that legendary? I don't think so, is it?
I don't think it was.
Nah.
Okay, Skizix. I just want to see if you can spell it correctly.
Well, of course I can spell it correctly. I'm not Brian. Give me
Skiz-
give me an instant or sorcery. One or the other.
Shrink?
Did you say shrink?
I did.
Forget.
That's a good one.
No.
All right. Chat. Give me an equipment and a keyword action. What the hell's a keyword action?
Keyword action is like scry, destroy.
Oh, right. Okay. Dorks, give me an ability word.
Domain.
Blood Forged Battle Axe. That's a good one. What was that?
That's a domain.
Domain is an ability word. How about an elemental?
Skizik.
Shaman. Wait.
Wait, is it Skizik or Skizix?
It's Skizik. It ends with a K.
Really? Okay, so I can't spell it right.
Vengeance.
I'll be damned. It is Skizik. How about that?
Elemental.
is it wind elemental?
Wind elemental is an elemental, yes.
I would hope so. Otherwise, that's false advertising.
Or is it
All
air
right.
elemental?
Did we get a
Let's
keyword
check.
action?
Maybe it's a horror.
I don't know if we did.
Pinball Witch said scry with a question mark, but she's like the only one answering, so give me someone
Oh, there
else.
is no wind elemental.
There isn't?
Is it?
No.
What the hell?
Is it
How-
air elemental then?
Yeah, air elemental. is
Air
definitely
elemental.
a card.
Okay, wind, air, you know.
All right. Is monstrous? Monstrous isn't a keyword action.
Isn't that
No.
an instant or sorcery?
No, monstrous isn't a keyword action. A keyword action is like a verb that you're given.
Oh, he
as
was
an
giving
instruction
me
to follow.
an ability word, I think.
No, monstrous isn't. an
No,
ability
monstrous
word
isn't an ability word either, is it?
either. No.
We're all just bad at this. Okay, I just saw cast. We're going to go with cast. That's an ability word, right? Or a keyword action, rather.
Cast.
Yes. I suppose it is.
All right. Now give me another. Oh, Jesus Christ. Give me another keyword action. You know what? I saw surveil. We're just going to skip over this one. All right. Give me, this is weird, an artifact token.
Gold.
Gold.
I like gold.
Dirk.
Yes.
Give me a different plane that isn't Ikoria.
Hmm. Is it wrath?
Wrath. How about what? A power toughness combination.
Oh, so like grizzly bears. 2/2.
2/2. That's. I can't wait to see how that fits in. All right. Chat, give me a saga. Mike, give me a green creature.
Bloom tender.
Bloom. Tender. Chat said time of ice. That's a saga?
Yes.
I can't see the art on that one in my head.
It's very cold.
Okay, I need another instant or sorcery. Oh god, and I need yet another keyword action. You know what? I'm gonna just put in. I'm gonna put in scry because I saw it in chat and Mike said it too.
So you need an instant or sorcery?
Yes,
Obliterate.
that is one of those.
And it's totally mythic. Right?
All right. We do not need any more keyword actions. Thank goodness. Give me a land. Chat, give me a more different plane.
What was the blackest land you've ever seen?
Volrath Stronghold.
Volrath Stronghold. Stark said Ravnica. No, there it is. Ravnica. All right, I need an equipment. And Brian, I need a red instant or sorcery.
Not obliterate.
All right, you already gave me a red instant or sorcery. Give me a more different red instant or sorcery.
All right, let me think about this for just a sec. Red instant or sorcery.
I'm thinking one of the swords.
Okay, which sword?
Of fire and ice?
Sword of fire and ice. Not to be confused with the sword of ice and fire. That hasn't finished being printed yet. And I need a temple. Just for someone that isn't Brian.
Temple of Calamity? Is that one of them?
I don't know, is it?
The only one I remember was a Temple of the False God.
No, Temple of Calamity is not a temple.
Temple of the False God works for me. Not Flays God. False God. Hey, Brian, did you ever get me a red instant or sorcery?
How about Past in Flames? Because
Past in
it's
available
all the
soon
red
in your
yeah.
Chandra's signature spellbook.
Okay.
All right. So now, because Infinious put this in a sweet spreadsheet, all I have to do is click here, and look, answers. All right. This. I'm gonna say that this is the title. This is titled "Apologies to Men at Work."
Okay.
This should be good.
Oh God. Okay, I don't know if I can do this off the top of
You
my
can do
head.
it. You can do it.
So, this is entitled Akoria. Traveling in a fried out smuggler's copter on a pirate's trail, head full of aurochs.
Oh my
I can't do it right.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
I met a gigantiform Skizik. She made me shrink. She took me in and gave me Bloodforged battle axe. And she said, "Do you come from a land like Korea? Where women cast and men domain." Oh, that's... Oh.
Oh man.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to have air elemental. I'm supposed to have just air. Okay. Got it. Can't you hear? Can't you hear the air? You better run. You better take surveil. Bind gold from a man in wrath. He was a 2-2 and full of muscle. I said, "Do you speak of my time of ice?" He just smiled and gave me a bloom tender sandwich. And he said, "I come from a land like Korea, where beer does obliterate and men scry."
Yeah, they do.
Can't you hear? Can't you hear the air? You better run. You better take surveil. Infinious, are you still here? Because I both hate you and love you at the same time. Line in a Volrath stronghold in Ravnica. That's too many syllables. With a sword of fire and ice, not much to say. I said to the man, "Are you trying to pass in flames me?" Because I come from the temple of the false god. And he said, "Oh, do you come from a land Ikoria, where women cast and men domain? You better run, you better take surveil. You better run, you better take surveil."
Goodness gracious.
And see, I heard that song on the radio just literally like yesterday. So you started, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, there's a link here. It says, reference, warning, copyrighted music video. And I'm going to guess this is the music video for that. I hope. Otherwise, he's lost his damn mind. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. So in the chat here, for anyone that doesn't know what in the hell, apparently I didn't actually copy this like I thought I did. Control C, Control V, there we go. So thank you, Infinious. That was the thing. Yeah. I guess, you know what? I think we should just stop there.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, hey, I do have to remind everyone though that Manipool Productions, on the whole, is a Patreon-supported endeavor. Endeavor. It's a good word. Whether or not you put a U in it depends on where you live. Hang on. Patron manager. There it is. I was trying to get the link and do it while talking, and I couldn't do both things at once. But anyway, yeah, I do the 2 podcasts a week, Twitch streams other days of the week, and at least 1 YouTube video every single day. And I need your help to make that keep happening. And hiccups, because of course I'm about to read off a list of names, so I have to get the hiccups right here. It's got to be a psychological thing. It happens every damn week, twice a week.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, you can go to patreon.com/themanapool and sign up to become a lifeguard. Get it? Pool? Lifeguard? It's funny. Where you can get a variety of perks. You can get Manipool episodes and YouTube videos early. You can get access to the odds and ends, which is all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manipool that's uncensored and unfiltered. And, you know, I might throw in some of Dirk swearing at the beginning of this one. I'm just saying. Because... A quick disclaimer. Because of the DoorDashing thing, I've been DoorDashing at lunch and at dinner. I haven't had time... like literally haven't had time in the day to finish getting caught up on I got all of last year's done, so now I'm just behind on this year's, and now we're almost done with March, and I'm still behind. I'm gonna stop doing lunch for a while because it's not worth the time and effort at the moment for some reason. So the plan is to get a few videos ahead and then start getting caught up on those again. I've done the first 2 steps for 12 of them. So, yeah. I think all that's left is the final assembly and then listening through it, and then I can post them. So, that's going to be the goal once I get a couple videos ahead, which I should be able to do tomorrow. Yay! But anyway, yeah, so you get early stuff, the odds and ends, and you can get the sponsorship shout out on both podcasts if you're a Mythic Lifeguard. So hey, I'd like to thank, and on the end screen for all the YouTube videos, don't forget that part. So I'd like to thank our Mythic Lifeguards: Jason Doan, Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious, Team Hillis Are You, Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Scuzzo, Jeff Spencer, Stuart's Law, PJ McMullen, Sophia Bertain, Casey, Danny Liao, Cody Buckawing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus. I know that guy. I think he just sent us a Mad Lib. Oh, outed. John Parker, Aleph Cat, some guy with a beard who's getting married. Bartle, Backwards Logic, ALK Alters, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Who? So yeah, thank you so much to all of the mythic lifeguards and to all lifeguards at every tier. I quite literally could not do this without you, because you'd think that when no one can leave the house except for, important reasons, that food delivery would be like making a killing. It is not. So yeah, I appreciate all of y'all helping me keep the lights on so I can keep producing this ridiculous amount of free content for everyone. Yay!
Yay! Woohoo.
Also, the screen that it's paused on this minute work video is just awful. Like where it started, it's just like it's the 6'4" and full of muscles guy in this little striped shirt, and no, just stop. Damn it, 80s. Anyway, so I'm sorry. Yeah, he's a 2-2. My bad. We didn't say what kind of muscles. He's full of muscles. So how do we? Are we done? Since
We're done.
That's the entire final thought was the whole episode. Let us know, by the way, if this was just horrible and you don't ever want us to not talk Magic again, or not, because I think this was I think we needed this as much as maybe some of you did. And again, sorry for all of the long and involved PSA and whatnot at the beginning, but again, it's very, very important that we just keep repeating it so that everyone gets it and it gets in your head, and so that when you see people, gathering, you could be like, hey, no, and it's just comes out. Yeah. But anyway. So I guess with that, since the entire episode was final thoughts, this has been the Mana Pool number 585. Because remember, kids, palindromes are sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, wash your hands after the podcast.
I will.
Thank you all so very much for joining us. And be safe out there. And be good to each other. And I guess go play some Magic.